Hi folks, James here. I'm going to take you through the ISO 9001 Quality Management Suite today. And it has 6 individual templates in the listing. If you go on to Dash-Made Solutions on Etsy, you'll be able to find this listing on there. So as I said, there are 6 listings within this, 6 templates within the listing on Etsy. Okay, so what you're going to get is, it's an ISO 9001, so you're going to get document control. We're going to get training matrix system. We're going to get certificate tracker. We're going to get the risk register, and you're going to get an audit and CAPA log, ideas for improvements and stuff like that. And also you're going to get a reporting register, right? So I'll go into a little bit more detail on the last one, because it's not very self-explanatory as to what exactly it does. So my plan is to literally, the video should be around 4 to 6 minutes long. And you'll see the slides that I go through, and they're similar to the ones that are on the Etsy shop. So it's just to give me a quick overview if you're interested in purchasing and what you're getting for your money. Okay, so the first one is the risk management. Okay, you can see here just a quick slide here of the heat map. You have your pre-control risk and the post-control. And then have some KPI cards there as well on the template if you go and purchase it. So you basically just see you have your risk register, you put in your pre-control data in there, and also your post-control, and you can see your reduction straight away. Okay. Here you can go, let's see, pre-control score, 352, post-control score. So whatever measures you put in place, you should be reducing your risk. And in this instance here, you can see a reduction of 46%. There's some more KPI cards for the listers. It's very neatly laid out. And this one here, I'll try and zoom in just a little bit more. Okay, so this is the actual input page on the risk register. So you see your KPI cards listed along the top, and your column headers, risk reference, title, risk description. Again, look, I'm not going to go through every slide in detail. It's just a quick overview. Your measures here, 5 by 3 is 15 is a high risk, and you can see here what measures you put in place. 3 by 2 is 6, and so you've basically mitigated from a high risk down to a slow risk, right? So I'm just not good there. Now, this is the audit and the catalog. That's very kind of blurry there. Okay, so your catalog. So you're looking at audit findings, non-conformances, areas for improvements, and things like that. So what you want to do is you want to have a place, if you have audit findings or you have areas for improvement that you want to list in one place, this is where you're going to put it. And when you have your ISO audits, internal, external, this is a really good place to kind of demonstrate your activity, and that you're basically you're complying with the ISO 9000 rules and regulations. Okay. Here it is. Okay, so if you're looking at distribution count, closed, opening, progress, again, we're talking about the catalog, and you can see here which ones are due within the next 30 days, 15 days, and which ones are overdue. This one is quite clever, I think. You can see here another way to demonstrate to your auditor is like, you know, are you active in terms of with your catalog? So this graph here will tell you how many findings have been open and closed over a certain amount of time. And you can see here the trend chart. So you have a trend chart here starting the 1st of December, say last year, 2025. We've increased, we've opened, say 24, and we're closing on average about 9 records, I suppose, over time. So you can see there straight away over the past, like whatever amount of months, we've opened and closed records. Again, it's a really good way that you can show the auditor that you are active when you're closing out either non-conformances or DSP improvements. That's just a quick view of the table. What it's going to look like. I'm not going to talk any more on that. It's pretty self-explanatory. Okay, so moving on to the next template, with the document control. And you can see here, this is the main dashboard view of how many documents that you have. I'll try and zoom in this. How many documents that you have, and what's their makeup? Are there templates, SOPs, policies? What's the status overview? Are your SOPs or your templates or your policies? They need to be reviewed right over a period of time. So you can see here on this graph, it's telling you that 6 of any of these 3 documents need to be reviewed within June 26th. 8 need to be July 26th, etc., etc. So if you can see when you put in your dates, your review dates, you can see here now it can space them out to be reviewed over a period of time. Sign off status, required, declined, pending, approved. How many documents are per department, and who are the owners for each one of these documents over here. Again, it's a very insightful dashboard. Really nice cards up in the top here as well. Shows your overdue reviews and pending sign off, for example. So there's 6 here in this instance, and there's 9 that's overdue. Okay, moving on. That's just another kind of snapshot of the graphs and the 3 credit cards that I just showed you there a second ago. This again on the document control. There's really nice conditional formatting within the template, and it tells you whether they're overdue, due within 30 days and 60 days, and which ones are outside the 60 days, which are highlighted here as valid. Again, sign-off status, approved, pending approval. You have an owner and you have an approver for, say, a SOP or template or policy. So you're assigning an owner and an approver and the status for that specific document. Maybe moving on, I won't talk about that. So that's the document control input page. I actually really like this one, to be honest. It's a really clear, clean template. I'm very much into my colors and having everything color coded and matching. So it's very easy to read. Your approval status missing and complete. Again, sign off status. It's just so easy to see the status, whether what's pending or what's declined, and also as well your review status and which ones are overdue, etc. So we've got training matrix system. Okay, so you have, say, I don't know, 15 or 20 staff, even 30 or 50, whatever. And you have many systems, and you have many systems. You've got SOPs, you've got work instructions, and you want to kind of have a holistic overview of who is trained, who would be a trainer, who's not trained or not required. So sometimes you have staff rotation, people retire, people leave, new starters. So it's always good to know that there are no gaps within your department. And this template here is pretty good at spotting that as to who is trained and who isn't, and who could be partnered up with somebody else if there is a gap there, or shadow somebody else. Okay, so you have overall compliance, fully trained 46%, below target categories 4. So you can see here competence versus target. So let's see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have, say, 6 pillars here of, say, areas that need training: investment, regulatory compliance, trade and settlements processes. These can all be updated for yourselves. Okay. Sorry, I'm just conscious of time here. So in investing, reporting, and data is at 82%. Now, I think I have a setting in there to say that anything that is below 80% highlights red. Anything that is above 80% is a green. So in the two categories here, investment reporting and data, trade and settlement processes, we're all good. So you can see platform and systems, that's 71%. That's an area that you would need to kind of look at and kind of go, right, where are the gaps there and how do I mitigate that? Something that you can put in your risk register or your CAPA writer. That's why these templates are all kind of combined together. They work really well together. Now, the training matrix, again, this is just an overview of the actual input page. We have a legend here in the top left. 1 means not required. 2 is not trained. Training started, trained, and then the trainer is number 5. So you can see here on the heated map, we have, say, all our pillars here that I showed you there a second ago. We had 6 of them, I think. Investment platforms, operation procedures, trade execution, and confirmation SOP. That one looks to be a poor score. And you can see up at the top here, it's that the average score for that specific SOP is 3.06. Okay, so there's some work that needs to be done here, right? And you can see there are a few people here at 5s. So you could potentially, sorry, it's a bit cut off there, Jennifer Scott, Fiona McCarthy, they're 5s, and Megan Price. Okay, so all these names here, by the way, are all kind of made up names just for info. So yeah, you could get those 3 people that we called out there and get them training up other staff members. Okay, so moving on to the next slide. I want to kind of mention that already. Certificate expiry. This is pretty cool template as well. So you have in your department, let's say if you have trainings that need to be completed, but they expire over a period of time. Say they expire every year, every 2 years, or every 3 years, for example. So this basically tracks that. So you don't land where you don't get yourself into a position that you have some of your staff don't have training and they can't complete their jobs or whatever. Okay, safe pass or like something say for, I don't know, maintenance people or staff that need to be brushed up in their maintenance every couple of years, construction or anything like that. Similarly to the document control, this is a really clean dashboard as well. Cert status is expiring in a number of days or whatever, and then certification expiry by department, expiring within 30 days and expired again. I'm very much into the visuals and enjoy doing them, and I think that again this highlights very quickly and clearly what needs to happen. So if you're looking at this and there's 9 expiries, like that's pretty bad. You really need to get these guys back on training again as soon as possible. Okay, so that's the main dashboard. Now this one actually is an interesting one. Okay, this is one that sorry. This is one that, oh God. Sorry, folks. Okay, so this is one that that I use anyway in my real world kind of place. That it's a reporting template that will say, and you can use it anywhere. Let's say you have 30 template or 30 reports that you need to run, say either weekly, monthly, biannually, or annually. And you could have a list of 50 reports within the whole department. How do you know whether those reports are being done? It's very hard to do that. So what I put together is that you put every report that's run within the department. Okay. Let me see, do I have a better view of this? Okay. Right. Here we go. So you put in all your reports, what platform the reports are pulled from, the report type, your report name, who owns the report, and the frequency. You can also put in your report owner there. You can put in a backup owner in there as well. So if somebody's on leave, or goes in sick, or leaves the business, or something like that, that there's somebody there trained to kind of pick it up. So a continuity mitigation, if you want to call it that. So you can see here January up as far as December. You can see here, which reports have been completed. So a suggestion would be, let's say, there's one person who manages this template, right? And so they would go out to the likes of Jordan, Marcus Sullivan, say, every month, and just say, hey, filling out the report checklist, are these completed? Yes or no? And if they say yes, well, then you tick it off as a new one. If they tick no, well, then you kind of go, you've picked it up. And again, there are so many reports that come on stream all the time and say, yeah, James, can you do that report? Or John, can you do that? And people just forget. So we put it down on a central place, put it on SharePoint or a shared drive or something like that. You can either have one person fill it out, or you can have multiple people do it. But I think it's a really good way. And it's another way of comfort to kind of go, yeah, I'm running all the reports that it should be running. Some of the reports could be ones that or could be flagged by an auditor and say, look, you need to start running these reports because you missed X, Y, and Z. Okay. So that's it. God, we've lined it down for 15 minutes. I don't think there's anything else. Yeah, it works on laptop and desktop and a tablet. That's not really, and that's, yeah. So look, check out our other listings that are on our Etsy site. Basically, a lot of our templates are procurement, compliance, ISO 9001, contract management, some training stuff in there as well. So it's all, and what we're trying to do is as well, put, say, 4 or 5 individual listings into a suite, what I just showed you there. And this is just to demonstrate that they do all work together. I think this is a really strong suite of templates. There's hundreds of hours gone into developing these. They work in the real world, and they have been tried and tested. So hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks very much.